don't think any teacher teaches unless you just absolutely love children. That's just the only way that you could do a job that's this hard, that's so underpaid. I'm really just excited to not be struggling. What is that? Let's talk about it. Monochromatic is a super big word.
Jessica Foster loves her job teaching art at Barbara Jordan Elementary, but she doesn't love her long commute and mounting debt.
At this point in my life, between my incredibly expensive rent that I pay, on top of my student loans, on top of all of the gas that it costs just to get to work because I live so far away, and then groceries, I really don't have extra money to afford anything. So if my car needs a repair, it goes on my credit card. If I want to go somewhere or do anything, it goes on my credit card. So I just feel really trapped.
Some of Jessica's colleagues have left their Austin teaching jobs because they can't handle the high cost of housing here. Even her principal, a lifelong Austinite, now calls Pflugerville home.
I mean, I feel like I love the community that I serve every single day. My husband's a firefighter, and he serves our community every single day, but we just can't afford to live here. It is frustrating that the communities that you work in and that you serve daily, you just can't afford it.
It's a frustration felt by thousands of people from all walks of life across the city. Jessica is hopeful Austin's affordable housing bond will help.
And I think that being able to afford to live in the communities that you serve as a teacher is really, really important. And I would really like to see this bond and any affordable housing pushes in the future work towards making it so that public servants and professionals can afford to live where they work, because that's what builds strong communities. And without strong communities, what even is a city?
Prop A is at the top of Austin's bond ballot. It's $250 million to attack affordable housing issues from different fronts: buying land, building affordable housing, home repair, and help with rent. Critics say it's too little, too late.
The topic that is on everybody's mind is the affordable housing, and that was something that...
Dr. Yasmin Irizarry is on the city's task force that drew up the bonds.
Every movement began with a drop in a bucket, and so when I hear things like that, I go, but that's how everything starts. A world-class pianist started with a drop in a bucket. They could only play maybe The Entertainer, who knows, right? So the idea that starting small, that if we don't start large, we can't start at all, is problematic, because then we never even begin, right? You never even begin to fill the bucket.
Who here is yay on Prop A? Yeah. Who here is yay on Prop A? Yeah. Let's do it.
It's not just politicians rallying the troops for Prop A. Many local nonprofits are campaigning for it because their programs and the people they serve will benefit in a big way.
It's huge. Our challenge is land, the rising land cost and the competition to buy land. So if we can get some help on just getting the land, then we can put a house there. We can put a family there, permanent, affordable structure. So that's our goal.
Habitat for Humanity has been on the front lines of the fight for affordable housing for decades. Right now, local volunteers are building a group of small homes on donated land in far northeast Austin.
Okay, are you ready?
Jessica's one of them. She knows all about the hundreds of volunteer hours required when you qualify for a Habitat home. You see, Jessica grew up in one, along with her mother and 5 siblings.
Yeah, I was 9 years old when we first started building, 10 years old when we moved in, and everything changed. I mean, it was not just that all of a sudden we had a house where we only had to have 2 to a bedroom instead of, more, but all of a sudden we lived in town. The fact that we could play with friends or do after-school programs because our house was close enough that we could walk or ride our bikes or my mom could pick us up if needed just absolutely changed the trajectory of my life.
But there's another reason Jessica's wearing her hard hat on the weekends.
So the driveway will be somewhere here, and I'll have like a little front garden. And then over here is my porch.
She's putting in the sweat equity for her own Habitat home, just down the street from Barbara Jordan Elementary.
I mean, it's 3 blocks away. I can almost see my school, from my front porch. And what's really cool is I'm starting to get to meet my neighbors through building, and I'm getting to not just meet the neighbors, but meet their children who will be my future students. So that's really, really cool.
And so we're really excited because Habitat for Humanity is going to help me build a house that
It's also cool that her students are learning some important life lessons along with art.
And so guess what, Miss Foster, I am getting a house, and it's gonna be right next to Gus Garcia. So I'm gonna live in your guys' neighborhood. Isn't that so exciting? Well, you can't like come live in my house all the time, but maybe you can come visit. Maybe you can come hang out on my front porch. So
Jessica's new house should be ready for move-in early next year.